Well, hi, welcome to my den, my office, my studio that I've been broadcasting from. I think you can see that Mike Hinkelfritz is sitting in, where are you?
I'm out on my patio here. This is
The
our patio.
Arizona backyard.
Yeah.
Ooh, I see your smoker there.
We don't really have plants in the corner. We have gravel. See? Gravel over there.
It's some Arizona trees. We call them saguaros.
Yeah, we call them cactus. Yeah.
Yeah. So you know what? We're just glad that you're going to spend a little time with us, and we just pray that as we unpack a little bit of God's truth, you just see a little bit of yourself and in the words that we're just, because really we're just sharing life together. And so today I just was drawn to 2 Corinthians, so packed with the truth of God's word, the nitty gritty, where we're at. But today I'm looking specifically at 2 Corinthians 4:7. But we have this treasure in jars of clay, really an indication of our own lives. We're jars of clay to show that this all surpassing power is from God and not from us. Oh, so much right there. We are hard pressed on every side, but not crushed, perplexed, but not in despair, persecuted, but not abandoned, struck down, but not destroyed. What in the word is God saying here in 2 Corinthians 4, except that, yeah, he made us as jars of clay that are gentle sometimes, can be easily broken at other times, and yet he's saying, in us lives the power of Jesus, the strength, the ability to endure whatever we're going through. And wow, what we're going through right now, none of us have ever been there. Not one of us has ever experienced this. And yeah, do we feel pressed on every side? I know I do. As I'm sitting in my house for weeks and weeks on end, my car is crying out to go somewhere. Take me somewhere.
Please drive me.
Right. We're perplexed. Yes, Lord, we're perplexed. These words were written thousands of years ago, but how real are they right now? And if you look back on last week's teaching with Hinkelfritz, he was reminding us that Jesus has experienced the same fears, the same anxieties that we are facing right now. And so here's Paul a little bit later in 2 Corinthians 4 saying we really carry around Jesus in us. And the fact that Jesus was fully human really impacts me right now when I'm going, hey, Lord, you see what we're going through here? When is this going to end? It's okay. Don't you think, Hinkelfritz, it's okay to question God and say, what's going on here? Where are you taking me? I think we get confused on that and think that we should never question, but that's just part of conversation, wouldn't you think?
Absolutely. No, in fact, that's what God begs for, is a conversation with him, which is what prayer is.
That's right.
Yeah, you're right. Absolutely.
We tend to make prayer into something we think should be filled with these and thous and confusing language and pretty language. And I think how often we freely talk with each other. We pass each other on the road 6 feet away, of course. And,
of course.
We don't hesitate to say, hi, what's going on? How are you today? And yet when it comes to time to take our cares, concerns, praises, gratefulness, thankfulness to God, we tend to cloister down and keep it to ourselves, when really what a great opportunity to just share what God is taking you through, allowing Jesus to reflect his light in and through you. And so when we remember that God didn't call us to perfection. In fact, he wrote these words here. He said, yes, I know you're a treasure in jars of clay, but that's because he wants to be our power. He wants to receive what's the word I'm looking for? The glory in him because of his strength flowing through us. And that just affects me. as I'm walking through these difficult days, as I'm thinking, how badly I'm ready to reconnect with my family, with my friends. I mean, Kank, Fritz, you and I are used to sharing a studio together, and yet we've been sitting, about 6 miles apart in our individual houses, and I miss that. I miss being even together in the studio, but there's going to come a day, and I think it depends on how we tend to look at these days. Is God using this to mold and shape us and to remind us of who is our strength? He is our strength. You and your family, Kank Fritz, you're really going through it as well. So tell us who all behind those walls behind you.
Well, I think the thing that's hard for me to wrap my mind around, and that is that, we've got a daughter with special needs. She usually ends up in the hospital at least once a year with pneumonia. And so that's what COVID-19 causes, a viral pneumonia. And people end up on ventilators and that kind of thing. So we know that this could be really bad for her. And then my wife has been diagnosed with MS. So she takes immune suppressing drugs. So it's like two of the things right there that the experts are saying, if you have an underlying condition, and those are two not very good underlying conditions to have. So we have really had to retreat, I guess you could say, or hunker down. Because if I go anywhere, who knows what I might bring back? I'm fine. I'm not worried about me. But what could I bring home? And so this, I'll just say, we've been using this phrase new normal. I call it a new weird. I don't.
Lord, let this not be normal, right?
Exactly. I do not like this. I don't at all. This is hard. It really is. Yeah.
Well, let me just fast forward through 2 Corinthians 4 and go down to verse 15 as we close and say, all of this is for your benefit, so that the grace that is reaching more and more people may cause thanksgiving to overflow to the glory of God. Isn't that what it's all about?
Amen.
The hardships, the light and momentary things that we are going through, they are momentary. It's not forever. And when we have that bigger view that our whole purpose is to glorify God with our bodies, with the circumstances that we're going through, I don't know for you, but I hope it's been an encouragement. It's an encouragement to me. And I'm so grateful that we're sharing life together. And thanks for spending this time with us. We'll be back again with you probably next week with another What in the Word is God Saying?